Thank you very much. So we're going to get to move along pretty quickly now into the message testing phase, perhaps, of our activities today. I want to touch base really quickly with Keegan to see if she had any housekeeping details for us before I invite Tiffany to come up and talk with us about the breakout sessions. Okay, we'll have more opportunities for doing that later this afternoon. So the rest of the day is going to be devoted to these breakout sessions. Tiffany's going to be telling us a little bit how they're going to work and what their outcomes are going to be. And then we'll all come back here after lunch to talk about how those went and hear some presentations pulled out from that Tiffany will tell you a little more about.
Thank you. I'm Tiffany Lohwater, Director of Meetings and Public Engagement, AAAS, and I'm very happy to be here and part of this group talking about these issues. And Kathleen, thank you for that wonderful summary. I think that was really useful for many of us to try to figure out how to condense what we heard yesterday. This is the part of the workshop where we're going to be doing some work. I'm very excited about this. So we're going to be breaking out into groups to think about specific issues and learning and taking what we heard the last day and figuring out what we might do. So basically, we're gonna, you have a color coding on your badge. Everyone still have their badge from yesterday. Oh, look at that. Awesome. So if you're in group A, I guess is synthetic biology, that's blue. 118, Keegan will tell us where to go. Group B is childhood vaccines, that's room 250. Follow Jenna. And group A is in the boardroom, and that's synthetic biology. Oh, there is 2 A's. Group C. I didn't make this slide, obviously. I'm just reading it at this point. Yes, so that would be C. Thank you. Look at that. Thank you, Kanoko. All right, while she's fixing that.
Breast cancer.
Oh, they're actually the wrong colors and everything. Blue is synthetic biology. All right, while she's fixing that, let me talk to you about what we're actually going to do. So I think more importantly than the colors and the dots and the topics are the most important thing, right? So we've heard a lot about trust, what's meant about it, what it includes, to what degree science and scientists, and I'm really glad that Kathleen made that designation because I didn't think that was very clear yesterday. Sometimes we were talking about science broadly and sometimes we were talking about individuals, so I thought that was great. May have public trust in a topic or not. So you're gonna have 2 hours in your breakout group. You're going to have 2 hours. I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to do. At 12, you need a break for lunch, and at 1 o'clock, you need to be back in this room. So that's for the timekeepers in the room so that we can make sure we keep moving. And the facilitators of your groups are going to be the ones who report out. There's going to be a case presenter who's going to talk about the issue and give some ideas for thinking about trust, and then a facilitator who helps the conversation move forward. We're going to have specific questions for you, and I'm not going to go over them right now because you'll have time to do that in your group. But the real goal is to come up with 3, I like to think of action items or things that need to happen on this issue to help think about what the scientific community might do regards to trust. And I was told to make it clear that this is not about developing messages. We're not getting down to that level of detail. This is really thinking about action or additional research that's needed. What kinds of things would be really helpful for us to think more deeply about how to deal with these issues in trust. I also want to make the case that this information should not be recorded. We're not going to be tweeting and using social media because we want to have open conversations. It's not going to be recorded and broadcast on the Academy's website. It's really meant to be more of a working session. All of that information, though, will be maintained. You're going to be recording. Someone will be typing it so that the academies will be getting this information back and will be part of the report process. I can tell you from my opinion, I really hope that we can use that information to take some additional steps in this area. And it's great to sit around and talk about these issues, and I think it's wonderful to hear the different theory, but some of us are very concerned about how do we put that into practice. And so I would urge you in thinking about this, the history and the theory and all of that is wonderful, but we also need to think about what are the steps that need to be made to change. So that's really my call here. That's why I wanted to do this piece, to try to motivate everyone, let's do something, or not. Maybe think nothing needs to be done. Maybe it would just make things worse. That's a whole other issue. And just a reminder, we've done these workshops before where sometimes a lot of discussion is made about this happened and then that happened and we wish we could have done that differently, and if we had done this, maybe we would have been in a different situation, which is useful, but I think for the majority of the 2 hours, we'd love to focus on forward thinking. How do we move past that to find where we are today? What can we do proactively? And I think Have we fixed it, Kanoka? Okay, now, now we're correct. Here are the places you need to be. And again, just a reminder, you need to come back here at 1 o'clock, and please do break at 12 for lunch so that you can have something to eat before we come back and discuss. Anyone have any questions? Excuse me? Oh, trade. If you feel very strongly that your expertise would be better in a different group, find a friend and switch dots with them. Yes?
I like to trade. I like to be in blue. I've got a red.
All right, so anyone who would like to trade, maybe you can convene in the back and discuss amongst yourself. You can fight it out.